Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. We're gonna be talking with is it ISO?
ISO. Yep,
ISO. We're gonna be checking out the map. ISO Crystal Eyes. Is that correct?
that is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And yeah, I've been actually been looking to checking out this map. So you're gonna give me a tour of the map. Gonna see like I play a little bit a while back, but I know you made some like couple changes to it. So
Oh
we're gonna be
yeah.
checking those out. All right. So
All right. Well,
where should we go first?
we're gonna start out in the White Shoals here. It kind of tends to be the safest place to start, and I would say probably one of the favorites for most people. But this, I really just wanted to make a very tropical place, somewhere along the ocean that it sees its fair share of storms, and that's why you have these rocks that are all eroded away. There's water everywhere. You'll find sea creatures that are trapped in kind of you would think maybe strange places, but if a storm washes them in, then they get left behind. So that's the concept, other than just being really saturated with color and bright bird sounds and just a really pleasant place for people to start out when they're getting started on the map and
I see.
being able
So
to
So
go ahead.
how long into the development process have you been into the map?
I literally downloaded the dev kit for the first time about 8 or 9 months ago. I had decided I was going to start playing Ark again and got on Ragnarok, and I don't know, one thing led to another, and I just said to myself, I want to make a map. This looks so fun. So I downloaded the dev kit, and it just all started from there. So it's been a 9 month process or so
Oh wow!
thus far,
So you have
just learning from scratch.
so you had no previous experience with like the Unreal Engine editor or anything like that?
Nope.
So
Nope.
everything was from scratch. So this is like
Yeah.
your first map ever?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Oh,
And I would have
it's
to,
amazing.
give huge props to the modding community on the Discord and whatnot. They're all super helpful and there to answer questions for, newbies that don't know what they're doing. So just hit this way into that butt end there. But so they've definitely come to your aid and do what they can to help you learn. There's a couple of videos on YouTube, so it's not hard to do, but it takes a lot of time and dedication. So that's just something I enjoyed, and I wanted my fantasy arc. I wanted that, otherworldly place to play where I could feel just totally engrossed in my environment. So I decided to make it.
Oh, that's
So
pretty
here we
amazing.
are.
I like that. I'm also aware that you are now being a sponsor of the modding program.
Yeah, the map was just announced. Oh, what day was it? Third, I want to say. Maybe it was the first. I'm sorry, I'm not 100% sure on the date,
Hmm.
but it was just announced to be sponsored, and we'll
That's
see where it
amazing.
goes from there. I'm just super happy to mostly just make this map for people. People are. I never expected uh, any sort of reception to it. I didn't make it for people. I made it for me and my friends. I was terrified to put it on the Steam. I thought, oh gosh, people are just gonna tear it apart. And it just ended up sort of picking up steam and never stopping. This is
That's
where we've ended up so far.
So, is it just you working on the map, or do you have any other people helping you?
I am the only person that's ever touched the map or actually mapped. I have had definitely plenty of modders from the modding community sort of come on TeamViewer and help me with blueprints or look at my graph and just troubleshoot things when I've had problems. And I mostly just, have people that help me with Discord or uh, materials every now and then. But I have to admit, I'm pretty possessive over it. I haven't allowed anybody else to touch it. So it's mine. Get away. It's definitely my special project that I don't think I could. It would take some time to wrap
I
my
see.
head around. letting somebody else touch it or make an area, to be honest. So
So what is this area that's called? What do you call this area?
this area is called the White Shoals, and like I said, it's really the beginner area. It still has its difficulties, but it's pretty much has everything you need to start. And it's now starting to phase into the tropics, which have the orange crystals here.
So are
It's
there are there any of these crystals harvestable?
all of the crystals should be harvestable, except for the occasional one that's more of like a visual centerpiece. You know, if you ever walk up to one and you can't harvest it, and it's rather big, that one's just not meant to be harvested. But I did set them all so that you should be able to build into them, like with S Plus and the Castles mod and stuff. So they're not going to block you from designing a base around.
I see. So do you have any custom assets, for example, on the map?
A lot of the trees I either made or did find online for purchase. Say these great palm trees here. Those are the big ones, but then the smaller ones I made. What happened was I was working with a lot of custom trees that actually didn't come with loads, which helps with performance. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna make my own, and I downloaded a program called SpeedTree and taught myself how to make trees. So we have a lot of custom trees. Let me think. As far as custom map, I don't think there's a whole lot other than that you wouldn't necessarily find. Other than the textures, I probably, tweaked some ground textures here and there, or took things from Arc and sort of mashed them together so that they just looked different. Like in this area that we're going into now is called Blood Falls Hollow. It has red crystals that give you leech blood, along with crystals, and red flowers and red waterfalls. It just is sort of themed toward that. But like in here, the trees have red flowers and vines, and just hopefully take you to a different place when you're.
Man, that is pretty cool. I really like the detail on the trees. I've never seen anything like that on any map before. This looks very well detailed, actually.
They're a work in progress. I'm not a master tree maker, I'll admit, but for now I think. Oop! Here we have a crystal wyvern.
Oh.
So this is a blood crystal wyvern. They have red crystals that pulse on their head in the dark specifically, and they kind of trail with a red sparkle. Because it's a girly fantasy map. It had to have sparkles.
I see.
But going in here. Oh.
Are a lot of these wyverns custom, or are they just different colored, or they just painted differently?
The crystal wyverns are slightly smaller than Arc's wyverns. They are Arc's wyverns, the fire wyvern to be specific. And I made them a little smaller. I made them passive, so until you punch them or something, they're not going to bother you. They tend to spend more time on the ground than in the air, and they passively tame off of special crystals that you harvest from the crystals around the island. The colored crystals.
Okay. So it's a passive tame.
It's a passive tame, and
Awesome.
they're still a work in progress. So I'm still working out kinks because, I'm not a master dino crafter. So, but I do intend to bring some custom dinos to the map, specifically a world boss and world boss arena that just isn't here yet. It's not ready for the reveal.
I see. Are there any other dinos that are require that are being tamed differently than your normal island map?
Not from my map, no. Not unless you have a mod in. The crystal wyverns are my only, different dino, and I will be putting in various crystal dinos. They'll be kind of rare, and they won't be different from Arc's dinosaurs, other than having crystals on their bodies. They will just be, say, a Paracer. with some crystals on its body, you know, just to give you that special feel. Because the lore of the map is, you know, it's very vague and kind of not really concrete, but the world boss, you know, he was burrowed, hibernating for whatever purpose. He came out of the monster island, or it's called Eldritch Island, and he wrecked that place, and he has what are called primal crystals all over him. And those have, among others, fallen away from him as he's sort of flown around in the sky and just sort of done whatever he feels like doing up there. And as a result, they've fallen and sprouted all over the map and on the creatures and sort of just created a lot of chaos and mess. It's really pretty chaos and mess, but that's where the crystals, you know, come from. So
Oh, that's pretty cool.
you're gonna see him in the sky, and at some point or another, you're gonna be able to use the terminal to summon to his arena and fight him. So that's
awesome.
the future plan.
So how many biomes do you have in total on the map so far?
Well, the map is probably the largest map available as far as custom maps, so I really intend on putting in everything that can be. So it should be all of Arcs, as well as Scorched Earth. We do have a desert, and the redwoods are in front of us here. They're not in yet, but that's where they're going to be. Nice big redwood biome. So we're kind of headed that way. This is the Salty Shoals, so you'll see sort of a white texture in the water, dead trees, salt deposits that you can harvest. So everything around here is a little distressed from the salt coming in from the ocean. Let me think. There's going to be a snow biome, of course. And more importantly is going to be what I'm going to have is a rainforest. The rainforest will actually rain more often than the rest of the island. It's going to be very tropical, and it's where you're going to find the bulk of your vanilla wyverns from Scorched Earth. They're going to come from the rainforest on my map. So I'll probably incorporate a tropical wyvern that's going to be a normal wyvern with you know, more vibrant colors for the rainforest. But so that's going to be one of the key parts of the map itself. It's just not done yet because it's really special to me. I've been taking a lot of time planning and gathering things that I want to put there. So it's coming. It's not here yet.
So pretty much has all the dinos from the island in Scorcher so far.
Yep. I believe I've got all the spawners in, except for maybe some of the lava spawners from the center, because those can be a little dangerous and overwhelming. They're really full of baddies. So, but for the most part, you should be able to find all of the dinos from the island, Scorched Earth, here, as well as the Ingrams from both maps. So.
Okay. What about weather system? Are you planning to have any like custom weather system from like a Scorcher or anything like that?
I would love to. It's just a work in progress right now, because from what I'm told, combining the two islands or the two maps weather systems is quite complicated. So my thinking was to hopefully get the playing surface more or less ready for people to just enjoy it, while I work on the more complicated things like maybe an electrical storm and stuff like that, so that they can really get a little bit of everything, whether they own Scorched Earth or not. So,
are you planning to add any? Does the map have like custom ruins or like explorer nodes? Or are you planning to add like your own explorer nodes to explain the lore and things like that?
Yep. Especially a dossier for the crystal creatures or any other creatures I add in the future. And then definitely, so far we have most of the explorer notes in, but I think I still need to add a few, including my own. So those will be coming for sure. Look, here's beavers.
So where are we at the moment?
We just passed through what I call Halcyon Plains. It's the large plain that splits the map, and then this specifically is Tundra Falls. And you'll see, not to be too repeaty with the falls names on my biomes, but I do like the waterfalls. And this large center mountain here has two major waterfall spawns here that actually hide little secrets. So go.
Oh, I love secrets.
But this is where the tundra, which you can see is pretty colorful,
Uh-huh.
didn't want it to be dull and sad, meets the snow biome. And here we have this fantastic cave. I haven't finished yet, but here we have it. So ready for this, right? Because look at this place.
And this cave is still a work in progress.
Oh yes, it's not done. This is just the bare bones, basically. I haven't 100% decided what I'm gonna do with it, but I just wanted something like it's a mountain. It has such a cool empty space inside. I had to do something with it. I had to just give people some sort of cave secret, because basically I've been trying to get the landscape sort of hammered out, and then I want to do really nice ocean. I feel like the ocean should be just as interesting as the landscape. Really awesome caves. We're gonna do an underworld under Eldritch Island where the world boss was. You know, that'll have hopefully some really cool, more creepy Halloween-esque type feel to it. And just, I have a lot of plans, especially for caves. So I don't want people to get discouraged that there isn't much of that yet. There